Hey guys, what's going on? It's KD from Socratic K9. In this video, and in some subsequent ones I do hope to make for you all, I plan on addressing some of the dogma, some of the misinformation that right now is plaguing the world of dog ownership. I spend a lot of time online every day, a lot more than I'd like to or probably should. And the reason why I do that is because my company, Socratic K9, specializes in working with dog owners all around the world, not just teaching them how to train their dogs online, but teaching them how to build meaningful relationships with them, teaching them how to finally understand how to communicate with their dog. In order to do that online, I have to be online. So I'm in those Facebook groups. I'm in all of the breed-specific groups, all of the dog ownership groups, the rescue groups. I'm all over the place. And while I'm connecting with dog owners, I'm also observing other dog owners, and I'm observing the information that is shared on a regular basis. Unfortunately, a lot of that information is not only incorrect, but it's potentially harmful. I see every day advice being given to people or things about dogs being said that are so incorrect it could lead to numerous problems, some of them even safety concerns. So I wanted to use my platform here on YouTube to address some of the more common ones, the ones that we can quickly get to the bottom of and cut out all the dogma. So for this first episode, I want to talk about one really popular piece of dogma that I'm sure you've heard over and over again, and that is, if a dog's wagging its tail, it must be friendly. I know you've heard that. Now, whether you believe it or not, we'll get to that. You know you've heard that over and over again. Maybe you've told other people that. Well, let's talk about it briefly. Rather than tell you right off the bat that that's correct or incorrect, fact or fiction, instead, I'm going to share with you some of my own personal experiences, and hopefully that can provoke a little bit of thought and get us a little closer to the reality. I've spent many years when I was younger and my body worked the way it did when I was younger, training protection dogs. I like air quotes. I can't help it. Lots of air quotes. Training dogs to protect their owners, to protect property, to use aggression in a controlled scenario under command. Worked a lot of dogs, worked with a lot of dog trainers who were even better than I ever was at that task. Now that task does involve getting bit. You know, you put on a suit and you're working with a dog and you're teaching a dog how to use their natural attributes to keep their owners safe or keep property secure. I can tell you over and over and over again, there was no point in counting it, so I don't have numbers for you. I'd be standing in front of a dog who really wanted to bite me. I mean, you could see it with every ounce of their being. They were excited to bite me. They were happy at the opportunity to get to bite me. It's part of the training. You want to know what their tail was doing? Take a guess. Wagging. Their tail oftentimes will wag. In numerous other contexts, I've seen dogs that had intentions other than to lick, kiss, or cuddle, and their tail was wagging. You don't need any more information than that to start reflecting on this piece of information. If a dog's tail is wagging, it means they're friendly. I don't need to tell you any more than what I just shared with you to inspire a little bit of objective reflection. If it was a universal rule, I would not have observed what I had observed over and 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 over again. So how could it be possible that if a dog's tail is wagging, it automatically means they're friendly, when myself and countless other colleagues, anybody who basically does that type of training or has experience in that type of training, will agree on this? Just because the tail is wagging doesn't mean the dog wants to be friendly. Can you see how important it is that you understand that? That you realize that that piece of information that's been floating around the world for almost ever, it seems like, is questionable? You see how I caught myself there. I'm still holding back on saying true, false, fact, fiction. I just want you to meet me halfway. I want you to accept that it's really questionable, especially given my experiences and the experiences of others. So what possibly could a wagging tail mean? Well, when we understand our dogs and we understand how they think and we understand how they communicate with us, we get a much better insight into who they are. And that can not only help us keep them safe and keep ourselves safe around them, but with our own personal dogs, it opens up the door to massive possibility in our relationship with them. I'd like for you to consider that the tail is another means of a way to communicate. Now, you might have already thought that. You thought that the wagging tail, or maybe you know somebody who thought that the wagging tail meant that the dog was friendly. How about this? Let's say that a wagging tail is simply an indicator that our dog is thinking. And not only is our dog thinking, but our dog might be experiencing some level of excitement or arousal. Not that kind of arousal. You get what I mean. The wheels are spinning. There's a little bit of smoke coming out of their ears. They're processing something. They're probably excited to some degree by what's going on in the environment. The wagging tail is merely a sign that that's going on. Now, even in your own dog, one dog, have you noticed that they wag their tail differently from time to time, depending on what's going on around them? Some wags are low and slow. Some wags are high and tight. Some are big sweeping movements. Some are little twitches. There's a lot going on with the tail. And we need to learn that it isn't as universal or simple as just saying, if the tail's wagging, it means this is how the dog feels. Let's kind of loosen up a little bit on that. Let's accept a much easier, simpler, and safer idea. And that is, the wagging tail simply means the dog is thinking about something, or excited about something, or aroused about something. Now, it's going to take time and possibly some guidance for you to learn how your dog wags their tail and what it means. The first step in doing that is reframing how you look at your dog. Now, how you look at your dog is a topic I go into in great length on my Instagram and also in my online coaching program for dog owners, the Canine Blueprint Coaching Program. We really get into those details. But for now, I just want to start out with step one, and that is framing how you look at your dog. What I mean by that is, don't just look at him and smile. I get it. It does feel good to look at a dog. If you're a dog lover, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a dog lover, I don't know why you're watching this. Instead of just looking at them and smiling and saying, oh, I love them, how about we just look at them and reflect on what we're seeing? Right now, we're talking about wagging tails. So how about, from this point forward, you're a little bit more reflective when you're watching your dog and their tail is wagging. Take note of how fast it's wagging and what's going on around the dog. Take note of if it's high or low and what's going on around the dog. By engaging in that process, you will learn more about your dog. Now, I plan on making more of these because they are needed. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. It's somewhere around here. You know how the YouTube thing works. You're probably better at it than I am. Also, you're going to want to follow me on Instagram. Right there. Instagram is my home. As you can see, YouTube, I'm getting more familiar with it. I'm trying to get better about it. I have a lot more content on Instagram. You're also going to want to download my free ebook. I wrote a quick, easy to read fundamentals book for all dog owners. It's not how to train your dog completely, not even close. No book can teach you all of that. But it will open your eyes into a different perspective of dog ownership that could result in some massive gains in your relationship and your life with your dog. I'll put some links below for you to get that. It'll also subscribe you to my email list. And what I plan on doing is prefacing all of these YouTube videos I'm going to make with an announcement to everybody on my list so they can see it first. Guys, one of the most important parts of dog ownership is honoring thy dog, learning who your dog is so that you can be in a fulfilling and meaningful relationship with them. But as you're trying to acquire all that new knowledge, the very first step in that process is dropping your ego before you pick up that leash. It won't help the learning. See you guys.